What's up, guys? Hey, welcome back to the channel. So as you can see, last Friday we had a little bit of a dip in the S&P right here, and I wanted to go over a couple things that we went over last time, such as this plot here. So what this plot signifies is what I call the percent of stocks that are by these. So down here, the percent of stocks that are by these is high. Up here, the percent of stocks that are by these is low. So what are by these stocks? As you'll see in the video last time, by these stocks are stocks that are classified as having a big volume before or after a minimum value. So the idea is that if you have a big volume near a minimum, it could be a shark that comes in and is picking up that stock. Of course, beware, because it could also be that the stock is accelerating downwards and being sold off. So every day I have an algorithm that puts these values into a table. I'll show you the table right here. And you can see there's one row for every day. So there's 1,200 rows, maybe 3 or 4 years worth of data. And it's just being put into the sheet daily. So you can make plots with that information, such as this plot right here. And if you go back and look at the historicals, you can see there are little dips in the percent of stocks that are by these or have a big volume at or near a minimum. So the idea is when you're low here, you do not want to buy stocks, but as you start increasing, then you may want to. So we'll look at 10.15, could be a day. Also we'll look at somewhere around 11.14 and 11.22. So for the 10.15 date, going back here, so for 10.15, could be a day to buy, and as you can see, there was a run up in the market. The other day, when the stocks seemed to be coming out of this little recession here, it's 11.6. So 11.6 is right here, and there was a bit of a tick up. Of course, it came back down, the stock did. And the third day was right maybe around here, 11.22. Another dip and then a tick up. So if you wanted to buy when it starts to tick up on 11.22, 11.22 falls right around here. So, and as you can see, the stocks bounced back up. So 2 out of 3 times this was correct. We can go back further if you like, look at previous days. You gotta love the web version of Excel. It's quite different. Okay, I'm not going to struggle around with this too much, but you get the picture. Let's see if we can select the data here. There we go. So double clicking wasn't working. Drag this up to have some date values there. There we go. So, not a lot of dips previously, going back to August 15th. Looks like things stay relatively elevated. And is that the case here? Yeah, pretty much. It's just been a straight trend up. There hasn't been any pullbacks in the market recently. We'd have to go back further to see if this holds true. But if you were interested in timing the market, looking at the maximum volume relative to the minimum values may be indicative of stock performance or future stock performance. So with that, I think we're going to go into putting some more orders in and just kind of go over how to put orders in. We could go into how to develop this tool, but I think we're going to save that for next time. It looks like most people are interested in putting orders in right now, and that's perfectly normal. So we'll do that. Okay. So I've got my code here. Don't worry, I'm taking out all my keys, so it's completely safe to use on the internet. Okay. So here's an order right here. This is setting a limit price for that order. Looks like it's going to be 98%. So let's just start breaking this down a little bit. Okay, here's the actual order right here. Sorry, this it's a little complicated. It is quite a complex bit of code here, but we'll just copy this chunk right here and start digging into it if you wanted to place your own orders. Okay, we'll just create another sheet. We're gonna mark this as a R. Paste that bit of information and see what we can do. Nice. Let's just double check. Okay, we've got my quantity is 5, so that did read in. We have a little bit of a sleep here to give the system time to read in that data. Since this is not a paid account on Alpaca, there's a limit to how much data you can read in. So I do have a little bit of time spaced out. And let's see what the buy these are. Again, the buy these are defined as stocks that have a maximum volume near a minimum. These stocks have a maximum volume near a minimum. They could be accelerating downwards, or they could be have reached the bottom and being a buy opportunity. Okay, so let me expand this out. Okay, so we're going through for K and 1 through length by these. We're just have a little loop here. So it's going to repeat for each of these by these. So the length of by these is just going to be, let's expand this out, the length here, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay. And the limit price is going to be 98% of this chunk here. We don't really need the try-catch bit here. We can simplify this. A try-catch is just in case it didn't return, this code didn't return any values. If it gave an error, it would break the whole loop. We don't want to do that, so we put the try-catch in there just to ignore any errors that may have occurred. So I think it's going to be this chunk here. Let's take the max. Alright, so it's going to be the maximum of the market data for the buy these for this position K. We got the version 2 for Alpaca's version 2. The time is going to be day from time to and end time. So let's just start breaking this down here. So let's get rid of the max. It's just going to be the maximum value here. And let's just go ahead and look and see what this looks like. So these are all the open values. All right. If we wanted the max, we just type max in front of that. Use a quote parentheses before and after that bit. There it is, 274.05. Okay. What happens if we were to just take this 2 off? What is that going to look like? I'm just trying to break this down for everyone to see how to manipulate this. Okay, so 2 should just be this bit of information here. Try that again, put the 2 there. 1, 2. Okay, it's looking at column 2. I would expect to possibly put a comma there. Same thing. Normally in R you would put in brackets the row and then the column. Here I just chose to omit the row portion. Okay, so looking at the second row for the open, that's the opening values for that particular stock. Okay, so sorry, let's look again. And this is a date. So the order is looking for the maximum value, the maximum open value between November 24th and December 12th. Okay, so that's fair enough. So that is going to be this limit price. So you just multiply that maximum value by 0.98, and your limit price is going to be 2% lower than the maximum value for that range, that date range. Okay. And then when you put your order in, going to okay, sorry. So this is quite complicated. If you wanted to put your order in, you could set the price as a limit, and then you could put in your limit price right here. This is a little bit more complicated. It's how to break this down further for you guys, but let's just try to keep it simple. The limit that I chose was the MyTel times 1.05, which is 5% more than the MyTel. The MyTel is this chunk here, which is the tel of the buy these for this date range. So it's a different date range in the maximum tel. So let's just try to see what that is here. So I just wanted to tell that the tail is just the end. Okay, so these values here. If you want the maximum tail, this is saying put a 1 there, so that would just be the end value. I'm not sure what I was doing here. The maximum tail of that is just going to be what it is. So okay, but it actually gives you a decimal value, so it's a little bit more specific. That's probably why that was called like that. Okay. So that's my tail. So it's looking at the my tail. So if the end value is greater than the limit price, which is 2% less than the maximum for that date range, then it's going to say yes, buy these, submit an order, buy these for K and 1 through the length to buy these. The quantity is going to be my quantity, which is 5 sides by. The limit's going to be the round, so you have to round to 2 decimal places right here of my tail, which was the ending value, but being willing to give 5% more than the ending value. Okay, then again you have the try-catch function here. This end bit is for the try-catch function that just returns the NA. If it's unable to execute that for whatever reason, it doesn't break your loop. It just keeps executing the other sequence of stocks without breaking the loop and trying to make you figure out where is K and where did it break. Then the system sleeps for 60 seconds after it runs through all these K. After every order, it sleeps 1/10 of a second, and then after going through the whole set of K, which is the length by these, the system will sleep for 60 seconds, let the orders execute, and then if whatever's not executed, this order submit action equals cancel all. We'll cancel all the orders, and then you can go through another iteration. Let's just see what that would be, what that would look like. Okay, so it's going to be this bracket, so whatever is before this, which goes all the way up. A lot of stuff commented out. There. For J and 1 through 10, J is okay. So for J and 1 through 10, looking at the stocks here, it's just reading in the stocks. We went over this during the last class. What's happening? Taking a sample of the 50 stocks and then classifying them as, we're looking at the max and the min, and we're basically classifying them in a matrix, putting them in order, seeing what comes first, the maximum, the max volume, or the maximum price, and that's how we're defining this plot here, where we're saying when we see a dip, after the stocks start coming out of a dip, then that's the place to buy. And we showed you at the beginning of the video that may hold true. So, all right, I think guys, we're gonna cut it here, and then try to develop a class for next time. See what else we can do. Maybe we'll go more into how to how to form these plots, and how to store the data, and how to get the code. Maybe in another class we can show you how to get the code to run overnight, day in and day out, and without breaking, just packing the data into here.